Receiving schools, here is your reference for today's lesson. Your strength, substrength, outcome, topic, materials, and your reference.
Good morning, 8Cs, receiving school students and teachers.
Good morning, Ms. Irma.
Thank you. You may sit down. All right, 8Cs and receiving students, can we just correct our homework, please? Receiving students, I remember giving you homework on, we were on exchanging money, and you were supposed to calculate the different prices of goods in US dollars. So receiving students, please, can we correct our homework now? Okay. From the table in which you copied, all right, this was the table here where we had the different prices of traditional handicrafts. All right, question A. You're supposed to calculate the price in US dollars of A, a wall hanging and 6 placemats. Receiving students, what is your answer? Okay, can we have group 2, please? What's your answer for A? A wall hanging and 6 placemats. So wall hangings, that's 36 US dollars. And 6 placemats. Pandanus playmat, 2 US dollars for one. Okay? And 6 altogether, how many? How much? For a wall hanging and 6 playmats. Okay, group 2, please. I'm here. Esther. Receiving students, what's your answer? Group 2. Very simple question. What's the answer?
48 US dollars.
Yeah?
48 US dollars.
48 US dollars. You agree with Steven's answer, receiving students? Okay. 36 US dollars plus 12. 2 times 6, 12 equals 48. Yep. 48 US dollars. Okay, receiving students. All right, next one. The other question. 2 woven bags and 3 shark wood carvings. Group 6, please. Group 6, your answer? What's the total? Okay, woven bags, $10 per bag, 10 US dollars. And 3 shark wood carvings, 18 US dollars per wood carving. Okay, Celestine, your answer?
$74.
74 US dollars. You agree? Yes? Okay, 2 woven bags, that's $10. That's 20 plus 3 shark wood carvings. 18 times 3, 54. So 74, yep, 74 US dollars. Okay, so that was your simple homework, which you were supposed to do, receiving students. I hope you did that. Okay, good. All right. Okay. We'll move on to our lesson for today. Remember, I reminded you, HCs and receiving students, like receiving teachers, starting from now on, we are going to be just going through revision exercises, okay? Revision exercises, skills, graphs, these are all part of the skills. Reading graphs, interpreting graphs, and other skills, because in your exams, all right, these questions are going to come, all right? These questions will appear in your exams, and you must know how to, okay, how to interpret, okay, these skills. All right. Before we go on with our lesson, group 1, please, I am going to give you 2 minutes, all of you, to answer these questions, okay? 2 minutes. Receiving students, please, okay, group 1, quickly. You will have to come up with your answer for this. Okay, group 1, what is a climograph? Okay, receiving students, what is a climograph? Please take note of that question. Group 2, okay, group 2, receiving students, what type of graphs are shown on a climate graph or a climograph? Okay, group 3, which type of graph shows temperature readings? Which type of graph shows temperature readings? Group 4, which type of graph shows rainfall measurements? Okay, which type of graph shows rainfall measurements? Group 5, how do we calculate the temperature range of a place? How do we calculate the temperature range of a place? Okay, receiving students. Group 6, what form of unit will I use to measure rain? Okay, and group 7, what form of unit will I use to measure the temperature of a place throughout the year? Okay, group 7. Okay, I think those questions we looked at last year, okay? We looked at some of those questions last year, so we'll see if you can still remember what a climograph is, or what do we have on a line graph, or temperature range of a place. Okay, receiving students, we'll have the receiving students to, the 8Cs to read out to you. Okay, group 1, can you just read out to the receiving students, please? Group 1, read out your answer. Your answer, your question. Okay, Michael?
What is a column graph? A graph consisting.
Just the question.
What is a column graph? A climograph. What is a climograph?
Michael, can you look here and...
What is a climograph?
Okay,
A graph consisting.
thank you. Just a question. Group 2, please read out your question to the receiving students so they... Okay, just read out the question to the receiving students so they'll hear.
What type of graphs are shown on a climate graph?
Okay, group 3.
Which type of graph shows temperature readings?
Okay, good. Group 4.
Which type of graph shows rainfall measurements?
Okay, good. Group 5.
How do we calculate the temperature range for a place?
Okay, good. Group 6.
What form of unit will I use to measure rain?
And group 7, last group.
What form of unit to measure the temperature of a place throughout the year?
Okay, thank you. Okay, so receiving students, those are your questions which the class has read out. Okay, I said 2 minutes, so I think you finished. All right, group 1, can you give us your answer, please? What is a climograph?
A climograph is a graph consisting of a line graph and a column graph.
Okay. HCs and receiving students. Okay, group 1, they said a climograph is a graph that consists of 2 graphs, a line graph and a column graph. Yes, you agree with her answer or you want to add more? Okay. All right, that's okay. Group 1, thank you. Group 2, later we'll come back to your answer. Group 2, please.
What type of graphs are shown on a climograph? A column graph and a line graph.
A column graph and a line graph. Okay, very good. Group 2, group 3. Yes.
Which type of graph shows the temperature readings? The line graph shows the temperature reading.
Okay, very good. Group 3. Group 4.
Column graph.
Okay, which type of graph shows rainfall readings? Okay, good. Group 5.
To calculate the temperature reading of a place,
Okay, listen.
you subtract the lowest temperature reading from the highest temperature reading.
Okay, very good. Okay, how to calculate the temperature range of a place? Group 6.
I used a unit millimeter to measure the rain. I used a unit millimeter to measure the rain.
Okay, millimeters. And last one, last group, group 7.
Degrees Celsius.
Degrees Celsius, very good. Okay, thank you. Group 1, a climograph, or we can say a climate graph, okay? It's either a climate graph or a climograph. Wait, sorry. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So it can be climate graph. So on a climate graph or climograph, we have 2 sets of information or 2 graphs on a climograph, right? We have the line graph. Remember, this is the line graph, okay, which shows the temperature readings, okay, which shows the temperature readings, and the column graph, which shows the rainfall measurements, okay? So the rainfall measurements are here, measured in millimeters, okay? The temperature readings measured in degrees Celsius. So if there's a question asking you of the temperature of the day, okay, you don't look at rainfall measurements, okay? You look at the temperature readings, all right? Okay? And if there's a question asking you how many millimeters, okay, or what day experienced most rain, you look at millimeters and not degrees, okay? All right, so that's on a climate graph, or climograph. Okay, so everyone look up here, receiving students and HCs. Okay, here I have a climograph of place V, okay? Place V, okay, on the climograph, what do we have here on the horizontal axis? Okay, horizontal axis. This is the horizontal axis, right? We have the months. Okay, why do we have the months here? Why is it showing the months? Because it's showing the the climate, okay, climate of a place. So it's an overall period, longer period. That's why we have throughout the year, okay? We have the months here. On the vertical axis, we have the what? Temperature readings and rainfall readings or rainfall measurements. Okay, before we go on with our questions, are there any questions you want to ask about the climograph? Or any questions that you are not sure of, please? You can ask. Okay, HCs and receiving students, if you're not sure, you can ask your teachers. Oops. Okay, if there isn't any questions, okay, there isn't any questions, right? Okay, A. All right, what is the annual temperature range of place V? Okay, I'm going to write the first question down and you answer it. You study this climate graph, and then you answer the question. What is, okay, the annual temperature range of place V? Okay, receiving students, you can get that question down. You get that question down and then you can study this graph here, this climate graph. Okay, like group 5, they gave us the the formula of how to work out the temperature range. Okay, they said calculate the lowest temperature reading from the highest. You subtract, right? And that's how you get your temperature range. Okay, HCs and receiving students. Okay, that's A. What is the annual temperature range of place V? So are you going to look at the temperature readings or are you going to look at the rainfall readings? Yeah, you will have to look at the temperature readings because it's asking for the temperature range. So that means you're not going to look on this side or you look at this graph here. You have to look at this line graph, study it carefully. So here, in degrees Celsius, 10, 20, 30, 40. Reading rainfall, 0, 100 millimeters, 200. Okay, who's found the answer? Who's got the answer for A? Receiving students? Or if you're not sure, please put your hands up, okay? Don't sit down and just look puzzle. Temperature range. Okay, yeah. So, you got your answer? A. Medicine, what's your answer? Thomas, your answer? Can I see? What?
What's the answer?
Temperature range. You will calculate or minus the lowest reading from the highest.
Temperature range.
The lowest reading from the highest reading, okay? So what's the highest reading there? You look at the highest and the lowest and you subtract. And then you get the temperature range. Okay. So what's the highest reading? Yeah, look at your temperature readings. What's the highest reading there? Is there any reading which is more than 20? No. Yeah, so no. It's not 19. There's few there 20. Can you see the line? Yeah? Okay, what's the highest? Okay, very good. Okay, good. Andrew, you know how you got your answer? Andy, you know how you got your answer? Yes, okay, so any question like that that comes on the paper, you see. Okay, the line graph, temperature range, okay, it's 20 is the highest, 10, minus 10. Okay, very good. Okay, Samuel, so you know how you got your answer? Yes. So that's how you read the temperature range. Okay. All right, good. You know how you got your answer? Yes, Michael? Huh? Look, you know how you got your answer? You're going to calculate the highest from the lowest. Highest reading, highest temperature reading from the lowest. That's how you get the temperature range. Okay, I think we'll go through this question here. A. Okay, what is the receiving students? Again, if you want to calculate the temperature range, okay, you subtract the lowest from the highest. Lowest reading from the highest reading. So, our highest reading here is 20 degrees Celsius, okay? Not more than 20. See, stops at 20, the highest. So the highest is 20 degrees Celsius. The lowest is 10 degrees Celsius, okay? Not less than 10. So that means 20 subtract 10 is equal to 10 degrees Celsius. So your temperature range is 10 degrees Celsius. Your annual temperature range, 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, receiving students? That's how we got our answer. So if this question comes up in your paper exams, you know how to work it out, okay? You look at your line graph. Okay, that's A. Oops. Okay, B. When did place V receive its highest rainfall? When did place V receive its highest rainfall? Okay, receiving students? When did place V receive its highest rainfall? Oops. V receive its highest rainfall. So it's asking for rainfall. You're not going to look at the line readings here, temperature readings. You're going to look at your graph, column graph.
This is not.
I think this one. Okay, B, receiving students. Okay, what's your answer? Okay, in October. All right. Place V experienced highest rainfall in October. Okay, very good. When did place V experience less rainfall, less amount of rainfall? In August. Okay, in August. All right. Okay, by looking at this climate graph or climograph, you can, from this climograph, you can describe where this place is, or you can describe, okay, yeah, where this place is, whether it's in, whether it's in an hottest region or it's in a coldest region, okay? You can explain. So, looking at this climate graph here, where do you think this place V is situated in? Is it in a hottest region or is it in a coldest region? Okay, why do you say hottest region? Okay, everyone look up here, please. 8Cs, receiving students. Again, you describe where this place is. Is it in a hottest region or is it in a cold region? By looking at your readings, your temperature readings and your rainfall readings, rainfall measurements. Now, this type of questions will also come in your paper, so you will really have to study this and think. What do you think, receiving students? Do you think this place is in a hottest region or in a coldest region? Coldest? Does it experience rainfall here? Mostly like much rainfall? I don't think so. It receives like less rainfall throughout the year. And the temperature, Okay, you still thinking? Okay, I'm going to leave this question and you think about it, okay? Whether you think about this question, I'm asking you to describe, okay, where this place is, whether it's in the hottest region or is it in the coldest region. So by looking at your rainfall measurements and your temperature readings, okay, you try and think, all right? So I'll leave it individually, leave it to you individually, you think about this. Okay, so receiving students, you can also think about this question, okay? And we'll come back in our next lesson and we'll try and sort this out. Okay, HCs and receiving students, again, climate graph, or we can say climograph. Okay, climate graph shows two graphs, okay, or shows two sets of information. That's a line graph and a column graph. A line graph shows the temperature readings of a place, okay? A column graph shows the rainfall measurements of a place, all right? Okay, the temperature range, you always subtract the lowest temperature reading from the highest temperature reading, and you get your temperature range, all right? So this question here was also taken out from one of the exam papers, okay? So like I said, so that you can get yourselves prepared. All right, receiving students? So please, don't forget your question. Think about this. Okay, we'll stop here. HCs and receiving students, thank you very much for participating today in today's lesson. All right, our keyword for today is climograph. Okay, thank you HCs and receiving students for participating today.
Receiving schools, here is your reference for your next lesson. Your strand, substrand, outcome, topic, materials, and your reference.